Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Y'all already know what we here for. Hold on, let me go and pull it up. We here to talk, man. We here to talk. We here to talk, man. We're here to talk about. I'm gonna let the music play in the background, but we're here to talk about who won. Who won the beef? Who? Kendrick, Drake. If it was all over today, who won? Right? I feel like everybody has the. I feel like everybody knows the answer. Everybody already got the answer. We already know. I mean, Kendrick's won. I mean, if it ended the day, it's obvious. But let's break down to why he won, right? And before we get that out the way, let me get my bias out right now. Starting out early in life, not early in life, but starting out in their careers, I was a big fan of both of them. And then the older I've gotten, I became more of a fan of Kendrick than I have been Drake. So let me go ahead and get that out the way right now, right? Not the fact that I don't like Drake. It's just I felt like Kendrick's evolution was just a little more better. I just feel like Kendrick elevated with his music versus Drake. It just felt a little different for me. But let's talk about it. So let's break down to what happened, right? So of course this started way before then, with the whole control. Kendrick Lamar was, popping off on that. And then, they had these few little side over the past years, Drake always throws subliminal shots. He used to always throwing subliminal shots here and there. And then it came to a build up. And then, Like That came out. And, Kendrick said, forget sneak this and first person shoot. I hope it come with these switches. And then he said, the big three is just big me. And he just popped off on that one verse, and everybody it cooked up something it cooked up what we have today. It cooked it up, right? So the first person that comes out is Cole. Cole says, you know what? I'm gonna come out 7-minute freestyle. Hard. 7-minute drill, tough, right? And afterwards, he was like, you know what? You can go and shoot your shots at me after this. We still homies. Like, do what you gotta do. But I'm bowing out. You know what I'm saying? I apologize. All that. And at first, J. Cole was looking like, to a lot of people, well, why don't you participate in it? That's such a bad move. Like, but as you can tell, Cole was like, he's like, I'm friends. I'm like friends of both of them. I'm friends of both of them. And two, I know them. I know Kendrick too. So it was like, okay, cool. Then Drake, which I will give Drake credit for. Like, I haven't heard Drake like this in a long time, right? So he drops push-ups, and we've already heard the bars in it. Drop and give me 50. How you gonna big step with size 7 men's on, and then Metro shut your that's make some drums, which is nuts. It's nuts to me to this day. That is still nuts, bro. Metro caught a stupid stray. It wasn't a stray. He already knew, but just the fact that he said that randomly was crazy. And then, Drake was on his high horse after that, which was good. It was a great track. Then he dropped Taylor Made Freestyle, which he did the AI Snoop Tupac, which I thought was cringeworthy. Not gonna lie to you, I was like, all right, this ain't it. Like, I love the rap. I actually love the rap itself. I actually listened to it, but then he was trying to depict himself as them, and I'm like, that's a throwaway, right? I'll compare these to basketball games, right? So, Kendrick was like, I'm gonna drop a 30, then I'm gonna rant after the press conference. I'm gonna drop no, I take that back. Kendrick was like, I'm gonna drop 40, then I'm gonna rant after the press conference, right? And then Drake dropped. I will say Cole dropped a 40-point game as well. No, he dropped I say Cole dropped a 43-point game, 45-point game with 7-minute drill, and then he was like, after that, he was like, man, listen, we cool, bro. Like, I just wanted to drop that out real quick, and you do what you got to do. Drake was like, nah, screw that. I'm gonna drop a 45-point game, and I'm gonna treat it like as if it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I even give it to him. It was probably 46. I give him 46. I give him 46 for that. And he not only he took shot, he took shots at everybody else too, and so that gave him like, you know, maybe like 6 assists, 6 rebounds, you know what I'm saying, 2 blocks, you know what I mean? So just a little subtle shot to everybody else, right? Boom. Then the tailor-made freestyle, Tupac Estate. It was like, nah, we ain't rolling. I'd give that probably like a 28, 29, 30. I give it a 30 because it was pretty. He was rapping. It was just the fact that it was like, it was cringe. It was, bro. You don't. That was kind of disrespectful. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was kind of disrespectful. To Pop. But then after that, we all know what happened after that. Euphoria dropped. It took some time in between. It took a little break, and everybody was like, drop. And then, you know, including Drake, everybody was like, drop. Like, you ain't gonna drop yet? And he dropped. And oh my God, this man put up 70. This man put up 70 points. He was like, I can predict your angles. I can see where you come in. Don't tell no lies on me, and I won't tell no truth about you. And he was like, I got a son to raise. You don't know nothing about that. First of all, I will say that Drake started the Whitney. He brought up in the family first. He brought the family up first, and because he brought Whitney in it. He brought his wife into it, and that was. If you wanted to keep it rap beef, I think it would have been. I think it's still good for hip hop. But if you wanted to just strictly keep it rap, you keep family out of it. He messed that up with Push T. When he dropped, he was like, well, don't make me call Virginia Williams. And we already know how that went. But he called out another white. See, that's what he messed up at. Because he's dealing with Pusha T. He's dealing with Pusha T times 2.5. And Pusha T alone already beat him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of people would be like, well, Drake's still making hits. You know, he beat him. Nah. When it came down to that point in time, Pusha T won. Because he made him raise his son. And they tried to, and he was trying to depict like, hey, you trying to decorate things for the baby mom, trying to make it like she's some saint, this and that, and it was crazy. But that's not it. We're talking about this beef. But yeah, he brought Whitney into it, and he was like, you know what? He's like, bro, I ain't doing this. I got a son to raise. You must don't know about that, like, you know what I'm saying? Because like, we do see Drake. I will say we do see Drake with his son, but we don't see him. It's like popular, and I don't want to speak on people's families, but like, you could tell Adonis. It's almost like you can kind of tell, like, Adonis is around him, but he's like, he's like, you know how kids are. Kids, it shows on them, and he sometimes he just looks like he's just there. He's like, oh well, I guess I'm just here, you know. But nonetheless, he's still around his dad, you know. How much it had to be forced, we you know, but he's still around, so he's trying to be a dad, right? So he's like, I got a son to raise. You don't know nothing about that, like, you know what I mean? And then he said he flipped the whole 1v. He flipped the whole 1v20 on him, because Drake said it was, I'm Thanos, like, basically, and y'all trying to take me down. And Drake was flipping on him. And Kendrick flipped it on him. He was like, bro, it's 1v20. I gotta battle the dudes that right for you, the over your camp, like, you know what I'm saying? Which is another day. Right, so he drops Euphoria, right? Then he turns around. I think he dropped Euphoria Tuesday. Then he turns around Friday morning, bro. Dropped 616 in LA. We talking about a 60-point game. We talking about another 60-point game. And I mean, like, cause it's a subtle 62. It's like a Tim Duncan 60. Like, cause you know Tim Duncan, people call his game boring. It's too fundamental. He don't dunk. He don't do nothing flashy. But buckets is buckets. And he was getting buckets, bro. I mean, buckets is, I don't care how you slice it. Any of us basketball players know. I don't care how you get to the 60. if the '60s boring, if the '60s look hot. Now, granted, we would love to get away from the highlight '60, but when you drop '60, it's still '60, bro. I don't care what nobody says, bro. You can eat up in that film room. But he was like, bro, you could see the vibes on Academics. Like, obviously, I mean, everybody knows about Academics. I don't even have to explain him. Then, you know, he was like, are you sure? Before you do all this, ask what Mike would do. Ask yourself what Mike would do, because Mike would not do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Mike had to question a lot of people around him. He's like, do you know if OVO's working for me? And he was like, are you sure? This was basically his Mortal Kombat, are you sure you want to continue? Like, you know what I mean? And so, which was very strategic too. It was a very strategic thing. Strategic thing to do. I don't think a lot of people realize how strategic that was. Drake, he said, I got the red button, I'm not gonna hold you, you know what I'm saying? But he was like, and then he said, we don't want to hear you say nigga no more. So 616 drops that morning. Later that night, I remember specifically not waking up. I remember specifically just scrolling my Instagram, and the next thing you know, I see Family Matters. And I'm like, oh, okay. Drake drops, right? Drake drops Family Matters. And so Drake drops Family Matters. And I will say, Family Matters is a 55 pointer. I'll give him 55. It's a 55 pointer with highlights. Nothing but highlights, because it's a hit. Because it's a hit. It's a club banger. And that's not saying like it makes it any better, because at the end of the day, it's still a beef. Like, it ain't about. We gotta call these people out sometimes in the culture, because a rap beef is a beef. If you grew up, you watched the show Beef, and you grew up around hip hop culture, you know that beef ain't about. It ain't about the whether or not you can go to the club to it. Beef is about strictly straight shots at you. Like, it's all no. Sometimes it can be no holds barred, depending on who takes it there. We know about The Game and 50 Cent. We know about Ja Rule and 50. I mean, we know how that goes. Tupac, Biggie. Who else, bro? We had so many beefs. Jay-Z and Nas. Like, Royce the 5'9" and Eminem, and Proof ended up dying because of that. Like, who else, bro? We had Cannabis and was it Cannabis and dang, who was it? Cannabis and was it Cannabis and LL? I can't remember. With Cannabis and Cannabis, I remember he was a part of one. Then you had then you even had to go even way back with KRS-One and those guys, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, beef is. It's hip hop. Beef is a part of hip hop history, and if you have to judge beef on whether or not you can shake your butt to it or even pop off with it at the club, then it's like, where you ain't never really been a part of the culture like that. We're gonna be honest. Are you just a fan of pop music? You just happen to be here. Now if you can admit that, then cool. I'm perfectly fine with that. Like, this is our culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? I grew up around the culture. Like, I listen to different types of alternative music and hip hop. I'm not saying that like I'm this great guy or anything, but like, in order to really get something, you have to understand what came before it first and what the history is. And that's what rap beef is. And people are like, that's like trying to play basketball in the 12th grade and thinking you're just gonna change the rules. You know what I mean? Like, the rules are the rules already. You already know the history of the game of it. Like, you can't change the rule. Like, you can dominate in like pickup games and stuff, but like, once you play organized ball, it's different. It's different rules to it. You like, y'all cheating. I'm supposed to take these steps, bro. You're traveling. Like, you can't take 3 or 4 steps like that. Because this is the game. Like, the game is the game. The players may change, but the game remains the same. You know what I mean? So I think what rap beef, what people judge rap beef versus what popular songs are and hit songs are totally different. Rap beef is beef, bro. That is it. It has nothing to do with with hits. You know what I'm saying? Everything is like, all right, strap the arm off, put it on the table. Let's just me and you a mono. Let's go. But anyways, so I'll throw that in there for everybody else, right? Because I will say Drake did rap. He did rap. Finally, this was my irk with Drake for a long time. Like, cause he used to never like. It seemed like he was getting lazy, and we already know he has writers for him. So it was like he was just taking songs from other people, and just making it as his own, and then just calling it a day. Like Magic Jordan, hold on, we're going home. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know that ain't rap, but it just like a prime example of just like, okay, you just taking somebody else's thing and just making it your own. Like, you just add your focus to it. Like, at this point, you are Michael Jackson. Like, you're kind of like Mike, like, cause like you're pop music. You know what I mean? Like, but you're not Mike. You know what I'm saying? Mike was entertainer, all that, but I give credit because Family Matters. I'll give credit. So back to Family Matters, right? So he was like, I started off with saying, you sure? So saying, nigga, I thought you're mad. I thought I go bad. I got bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Drop. He's telling him to drop. He's like, drop. Like, we'll get back to that. But he said you rapping like you. See, this is where you messed up at. It was a good game, but if you watch the film. If you had to go back and watch the film, you see there's obvious cracks in his game, right? You see that he likes okay, so he got his 55, but he goes that same way every time. And it's like, oh, that's obvious. So we can limit that down to 10 points right there. You know what I'm saying? And then one thing Drake messed up with too is that he should have directed all his shots at Kendrick, because everybody else was like taking Instagram shots, Twitter shots, and stuff like that. Like, I mean, you had Rick Ross with his tape, but we get that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he had some smoke with Rick Ross. Rick Ross should have been set aside for another song. Rick Ross and the other one should have been set aside for another song. This one should have been directly at Kendrick. Nonetheless, it was a 55-point game, right? And then because he said he brought up The Weeknd, and I didn't even know The Weeknd and them had a whole nother beef still going on, because apparently Weeknd's manager got shot up, and then Drake's. I think that shooting might have had something to do with that. I think that had something to do outside of the beef. I'm not buying the news stuff. We already know what the news is going to do. They're gonna boost it for clicks. But anyway, so he takes a shot at Weeknd. He takes a shot at. He was like, bro, you could tell he was hurt about the whole Future thing too. He was like, bro, why did you bring Future into this? Like, and then Metro. Then he brought up ASAP Rocky. Then he brought up I don't know why he said the Kim skimmed through it. Like, there was some filler bars in there. There was some bars in there that was kind of filler. Then he was like, Rick, read my Miranda rights, which was pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then rock like your old job, like put you in the cell, rock like your old job, which is pretty hard. But instantly, but he's trying to see, this is what he was trying to do. He was trying to put up 55 and then still give out like six rebounds, and it's like, but he did that in a loss. But if he would have took those shots himself, if he would have took all the shots, if he would have took all of that and directed straight to Kendrick, then I think he would have been a lot better. I think he would have came out a lot better, because he went from like, okay, I'm gonna shoot my shots at Kendrick about his kids and family, and then I'm gonna shoot that shot at everybody else, and then I'm gonna kind of go at Kendrick again at the last part. All three parts should have been Kendrick, all three of them. And I think from this day standing forward, I think Family Matters was his red button. Right, so that's that. Not only 15 minutes later, Kendrick drops Meek's the Gram. Kendrick drops Meek the Grams. My God. When I tell you this is a 75.80. This is Kobe's 81. This is a Kobe 81-point game, dog. And it ain't pretty. It ain't pretty, bro. I mean, when somebody, it literally feels like it feels like I'm in a conversation that I shouldn't hear about, in a therapy session, bro. Like, he's like, bro. He's like, he's talking to Adonis. He's like, listen, I'm sorry you got to raise up with his dad. I wish your grandfather would have, or like, I mean, and then the daughter thing. I mean, granted, this is 15 minutes after Family Matters drops. This was so strategic, let alone the song alone, right? About him talking to everybody else and then talking to Drake about like about Drake's narcissistic possible ways. Like, I ain't even gonna say possible because they are. But him just talking about like this is a long life battle with yourself. Like, that's a psychology flip right there. Like, this ain't even about me. This is about you. This is about everything you've done. Like, this is so psychological. It's crazy. And I think a lot of people on the outside look, they were like, man, this bump, man, this is crazy, man. This ain't rap no more. This ain't, man, what they were saying. Someone, man, y'all taking it too personal. Bro, it's a rap. This is a beef, bro. What do you expect, bro? This is a beef. This ain't no fucking Weenie Hut Juniors. This ain't SpongeBob, bro. This is beef, bro. If you grew up around the beef, bro, if you grew up around beef in any part of life, like if you've watched the show Beef, you know already what's going on. You know this is gonna happen. Like, this ain't no politics, bro. This ain't, people be asking for the real rap raw. Then they get the real rap raw, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, this too much. Oh, you wanted the real rap raw, but now you don't want the real rap raw. You just wanted certain things with the real rap raw. You don't want the full real rap raw. That's like saying you want a cold cut steak, but then you get the cold cut steak and it's like, oh man, I don't want that no more. Why it ain't cooked? Like, you still want, like, it's just, it baffles me sometimes how people try to take something like that and be like, well, like that's a beef, bro. This is a beef. This is not hit makers. This ain't about making hits at this point. Granted, after that, Meet the Grams, when he dropped Meet the Grams, it sucked all of the air out of Family Matters. Sucked all of the air out of it. That's why I said he dropped the damn near 55.60 game in a loss. Because Meet the Grams toppled that. Meet the Grams toppled it without a doubt. And once you heard that, it was like, dang. Because granted, I know everybody's gonna be like, well, allegations and stuff like that. But him saying that, did you ever thought the OVO was working for me? And he drops 15 minutes after, like, something. That's a psychology battle right there, because that would make me think that somebody's in my camp leaking information. Because how the heck does he know that I'm gonna drop, and then he drops right after? You know what I mean? Now, granted, there could be multiple factors that's in this. You could say that, hey, he already had the song ready, and somebody people around him was like, hey, he dropped, and then he like, all right, boom, there we go, or you know what I'm saying? But it's like, they were, if you could say you think OVO was working OVO was working for him or not. Kendrick and his, I don't know if it was his team and if his team or whatever. But they were on his neck. They were on his head before Kendrick before Drake could even go out there and start playing. They already knew his every move before he even started playing. And that was crazy. That's crazy to think about, right? So Kendrick, I would say the thing about that too. Drake dropped. If this was any old regular day, if this was a Meek Mill beef, if this was any other beef outside of maybe Kendrick and Pusha T's, then that would be a kill shot for most people, right? Like, let's say if this was just like, let's say if he would have dropped that song for Rick Ross 2, and then that probably, after hearing what he dropped, like that would have been, he would have won. That would have been a better game. Like I said, it's 55 points, and then let's say Rick Ross dropped his 30 points, 55-30. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like that is what it is. The matchup is the matchup. This was anybody else, that would have been cool. ASAP Rocky, cool. Metro, okay, cool. Weekend, cool. But you can't drop the same kind of game with somebody like Kendrick. You gotta up your game up. You gotta come with 80 points. Like I said, because Kendrick dropped 80. He dropped Kobe. He dropped the 81-point game with beating the Rams. Right? So after that, while everybody's barring, because Drake said he was gonna go on vacation, and it was like, you can't go on vacation, bro. You can't. So I'm pretty sure while Drake was writing up his verses, because I could tell he wrote that last song while he was probably writing it up, Kendrick comes again. Not Like Us. And what's so crazy about it was like Kendrick heard people, bro. Kendrick heard y'all. He heard you. Now, I will take this back. He didn't hear y'all. He heard probably Drake. And beat Drake at his own game. He said, I'm going to drop not only a hit, I'm going to drop a straight up West Coast anthem. I told my cousins, I already told my homeboys, like, this was the West Coast celebration track. This was like, this is a victory lap. This is literally the Nip Hustle victory lap, bro. Marathon types, you know what I'm saying? And not only that, he dropping a diss track while it's a hit at the same time. This is a 80-point game with assists in it. Like, it's crazy. I take that back. This ain't an 80-point game with assists. He dropped an 80-point game, but with highlights. Like I said, Meet the Grims, that was straight up ugly 81-point game. Like, that was one of them 81-point games. Like, he was getting fouled left and right, but he just free throw. You know what I'm saying? It took a while to get there, but he got there. This is an 81-point game, and he just like, I'm going under the lid. I'm dunking on you. I'm windmilling. This is too easy. Whack. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it damn near came effortlessly. It came effortless. Like, it was one of those games that you could put a 10-minute highlight tape to. That's what Not Like Us was. As you can see, everybody's reacting to that. Because they know they're going to get some type of clout or some type of money off of it. And the fact that he took the copyright claims off of it for every reactor is another W move within itself, is another one up in itself. Because he was like, I don't even need the money for this. And he was telling Drake, he was like, listen, bro, you so obsessed with money. This I forget what track that was. He was like, at this point, like, bro, you're so obsessed with money, like, You fighting a battle with yourself. You obsessed with things that you fight with yourself. All right, so Not Like Us, bro. Let's get into Not Like Us. I know people are gonna be like, well, the daughter allegations. Well, you ain't bring out the daughter. Now later I'm learning that some of them are saying like there's the daughter out there, but we don't want to bring her out for her sake, because that can mess things up. Which I can actually get, and then the whole Whitney crisis management thing, I actually can get, you know what I'm saying? Like, he already talked about the whole cheating thing. That's the thing about it too. He brought out his skeletons himself. Drake don't bring out his skeleton. Like, Pusha T forced him to bring out that skeleton of Adonis. And Kendrick's bringing out even more skeletons of Drake that we don't have no clue about. But then when you think about it, it's like, dang, why did I even look out for that? Okay, so now let's bring back to Not Like Us. So the whole minors allegations, right? I mean, there's proof now. I mean, there was people back in like 2019 that was talking about this. Like, I was even talking about the whole Millie Bobby Brown situation. Like, I was like, bro, that's kind of weird. Like, why would you text a 14-year-old and you're 32 about boy advice? Like, and be like, oh, I miss you so much. Oh, I miss you too. I can't wait to see you. Like, and then I saw the whole And even then, I thought about that. I was like, maybe a brother figure, father figure. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And then I saw a picture of her with the little sultry, like with the Drake show. Can't wait to see you. And I'm like, oh no, bro, I don't like that. That don't. That's a bad look. First of all, I need to get. You need to get on. First of all, I need to get on the parents. First of all, because it was like, okay, well, okay, what? I know the industry is different, but that was sick. And then people come. There's now videos about him messing with Haley Ball. Well, him knowing Haley Baldwin since she was 14. Then talking to her when she was 18. Granted, there's a lot of people in this industry. There's a lot of people in the music industry that move like this, which is nuts. And it's sick, to be honest with you, because it's like honestly, you can't even deal with people your own age, or even like in the late 20s. You got to deal with somebody that's young, and you gotta. We don't say it. You're grooming them. You gotta groom them. And then you start. I don't care what nobody says, even if they're legal and they're 18. If you're dealing with somebody at 18 and you're like 30 something, bro. For me, that's weird. It's just weird. It's weird, bro. Because, like, you don't have nothing in common. If anything, you could give them advice. But other than that, bro, like, dating, you're going to date. What are you going to talk to an 18-year-old about? Like, oh, like, you just came from raising your hand and go to the bathroom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's weird. It's weird, bro. It's weird. Like, I be thinking about the stuff I did at 18. And if I talk to and I'm thinking about me when I talk to somebody that's like 25, 20, and I'm like, bro, they're just on another level. Like, you can feel they're on another level. Like, it's just there. Like, so me being in that position, looking down at an 18-year-old, there's some 18-year-olds that are older, that act older than their age, but they're still 18. Like, that's the thing about it. They're still 18. There's some things in life that only time can teach you. Only time can teach you maturity. Like, I don't care when you're 18 or 24. Like, it's just up for you. It's just up to you to notice the patterns and grow from it, or just continue to do the same pattern over and over again. Because some people, they don't mature from high school. But even though life has been showing them things, they just don't. They just choose to ignore them. There's a difference between choosing to ignore them and then actually going through them. So, with that being said, being 18, bro, is just different. And you know what I'm saying? It's just different. So we got that, right? Then he took a shot at Chubb's hand-me-downs. I was like, oh my god, right? Parties now doing, booger sugar. And then Baca's got a weird case. Why is he around? Like, human trafficking a 22-year-old. I don't care what nobody says. Is nasty work, bro. And my computer is about to go dead. Oh my god. So we got, you know what? I'm gonna let it run. Bro. I'm gonna let it run. We're just gonna turn the brightness down a little bit. But bro, I don't care what nobody says, bro. A 22, bro. Human trafficking and trying to trafficking somebody into prostitution is, I don't care how you slice it, bro. That is nasty word. That is nasty work, bro. Nasty. And these aren't even allegations at this point. These are true things. And he was like, "F you." He was like, "Bro, bro, these patterns have been showing since early, bro. Like, you been messing with Wayne girl while he was in jail." And that thing about it is, the interview was there, and he was hurt. You could tell Lil Wayne was hurt about that too. He was like, "Bro, like, you don't ever bite the hand that feeds you. Like, you don't ever bite the hand that feeds you." And all of this while he's dropping a West Coast like bop, like, you feel me? Then he goes back to talking about, hey, you talking about Serena, like, you know what I'm saying? You speaking on Serena, you speaking on like all these other things, like, bro, get your life together, bro. And then at the end of the whole track, he just OV hauled and stabbed this way, stabbed that, like, at the end it's over with, bro. It was over with. Then he dropped the heart part, and then Drake dropped the heart part, sis. I think it was the next day, and it was just basically Drake playing defense. That was basically a 20-point game. When somebody drops 80 and you drop 20, it's like, okay, yeah, it's over. Because he was like, why she ain't denying the allegations, bro? There's people that don't live their life on social media like you do. Why Whitney not denying the allegations? Like me, like after I do this, bro, I don't stay on. I mean, I'm on Instagram and Twitter, but I don't put my life out there because it's nobody's business. Like, you feel me? Like, the more people you involve, the worse. And you know what I'm saying? And you just don't involve. You know, it's social media. This ain't real life. Reality is reality. I don't care what nobody says. Like, you don't learn your life. You can learn a lot from social media, but you don't live life on social media. There's a difference. And then he was like, I only mess with Whitney's. I don't mess with no Millie Bobby Browns. That one was crazy because I don't know if he was just trying to address his fans, because that's when you should be just taking direct shots at Kendrick. Him direct, because if we want to look at this as him directing the Kendrick never mentioned Millie Bobby Brown. Now, if you want to look at it from the other way around, be like, oh, he's just him addressing the fans, then it's different, right? But for him to mention it when Kendrick didn't even mention it, that's just more ammo for Kendrick. And Kendrick said he had 4 or 5 more in the tuck. And then him saying, "All right, I'll see you when I see you." He's like, "I don't want to fight with a woman beater no more. It feeds you. It feeds your ego. It feeds you." And it's like, bro, you told him to drop. But now all of a sudden it's not drop. Now all of a sudden it's, all right, I don't want to mess with you no more. Like that's like a bully picking on somebody. Then the bully actually gets hit. He's like, bro, I don't even want to do this no more. Like, you know what I mean? Or a kid bringing a ball to the park, and then he losing, and he take the ball away. Like, bro, you gotta take what come with it. And then on top of that, he was like, he was addressing what you call it, dang, oh my god, he was addressing the whole what is it, bro? Teenager. He was like, yeah, he contradicted himself in the hard part 6. You could tell he wrote it. He was like, bro, you getting your information from some clown. And he's like, we fed you the information. Bro, if you would have fed him the information, you would have already won up Kendrick already. You would have had your own chess move. You would have dropped Family Matters. This is what I would have done. You would have dropped Family Matters. You would have dropped Meet the Grams. Then you would have dropped immediately after Meet the Grams. Be like, ha ha, we fed it to you. Like, make the track called Aha, we fed. You know what I'm saying? Because you would have dropped immediately knowing that he already had the information. So just for him to drop that 2 days later after Kendrick's dropped that track, and then another track, it was cracks. It's cracks there. It's already cracks there. So it was cracks in the armor. So I will say this, like, I wish Drake had more than ammo, because I wanted to see what Kendrick had. Kendrick said he had 5 more. I swear you not, I wish he would have. I wish Drake would have tried to kept coming, because I want to hear what more Kendrick had. He said the rabbit hole can go deep. I'm like, I want to know what he had, because chances are there's more. What that may be like now, we may never know. But I will say this with Drake. Drake dropped better tracks, right? And this is why I stopped becoming a fan of Drake, because it seemed like he was like underperforming every time. I didn't like Her Loss, because Kendrick, I feel like 21 carried that. For All the Dogs, didn't like it. Certified Love Boy, did not like it. It was just okay. And all these other tracks, it was just like deluxe editions. It was like okay. It wasn't even. It felt disappointing, because it's like you're the best artist in the world, and yet these are the tracks you're giving us. And I'm like, I'm not satisfied with this. This is the best, and it's like, all right, I'm cool. But I'm actually glad. I hope Drake, if Drake's watching this, I hope that you stay in that pocket of actually trying to rap now. Not if you want to see a rapper, rap, but, and also too, if you're gonna sing, just All right. So okay, so it's back on. All right, cool. But yeah, man. Back what I was saying, guys. Let me get back. It's back on. But yeah. Back to what I was saying. Um, Drake. I'm glad that I'm glad that he rapped this time because now this is really. This is. If Drake had to come out with a bright side, we actually know what Drake's potential is. If no, I could tell that last track he wrote himself. Now I don't know how long he took those. He might have had maybe one or two people add into the Family Matters, but if that was straight him, bro, oh kudos to you, kudos to you. But he's gonna have to duck. I hate to say he's gonna have to duck away for a little bit. I know he's trying. I know they're trying to get him to still kind of push him out there and make more, stuff. But it's a lot. After coming out of this, bro, it's a lot of cracks in his game. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those hoopers that's like they cracks is like stupid showing now. And the best thing for them to do is just get back in the lab and just duck away for a little bit. Drake may have to duck away for a little bit. Will that happen? Probably not. But if my advice would be for him is just duck back. If you're gonna come back, come back with the greatest album of all time, bro. Come back with one of your greatest albums of all time. I mean, something that's even better than your previous, what people considered, Take Care. People consider Take Care to be a classic. If you're reading this, it's too late, which is the whole Quentin Miller. Lord, but anyway, use this. If I had to give advice, use whatever this is to go make that next best album because that's the potential. That's the potential of what Drake could be. You know what I mean? Stay off social media. Don't be on. I mean that probably won't happen either. Stay off social media a little more because yeah, buddy. Bro, you're getting cooked right now in every facet of the way. I mean, don't even go out, bro, because they're playing Dead Not Like Us everywhere. It's crazy. Also, too, the whole chain about, like, I think was a necklace or something like that he had. That it was I ain't gonna lie, I think it was nice. But it had, like, I think it was like 37 diamonds of the women he would have proposed to. God, that was god awful. That was corny. That was just a corny. Bro. If you're in 30, if there's 37 women you thought you could propose to, does that say that they're the problem or you're the problem, too? Maybe he was because he seemed like he pop off about Serena. It seemed like it seems like he's 37, bro. Like at this point, like everybody. It seemed like everybody around him, his time, that are eras in different eras too, had their time and fun, and now they're just trying to move on. Cause everybody's having kids, everybody's getting married. Like it's almost like that older aunt or older uncle that just won't let old stuff go, or the old times go, when everybody else is just trying to raise another generation. And it's like everybody at the cookout is like, oh look, our kids having fun, and the old guy is still, and the older person is still at the cookout trying to drink and stuff, still sloppy, still doing this. I mean, he got the money, don't get me wrong, but it's just like bro, we're just trying to move on, bro. And that's what it seemed like with Drake, and when it comes to him and like his like movements now, because he was speaking on like Serena's husband, like he's a goofball, he's a fan or something like that, and then he was speaking on like Rihanna a lot, and it was at one point too, and it's like, was those the two women that you thought you could have married or something, or is it like, bro, either way, bro, you gotta let that hurt go, you gotta let that go, bro. Like I don't care what nobody says, like somebody that hasn't healed from their past relationships should not be in a relationship, or should not be, you know what I mean? Like that, maybe that's something Drake, like he, back to the psychology thing with Kendrick said, this is a long life battle with yourself. There's a lot of pinches in the armor there, and maybe you thought the route, and this is another conspiracy theory, I don't know, maybe you thought this was a route that you thought you could go. I'm a conspiracy theory. I'll just throw stuff out there. Maybe you thought you could groom somebody into being a wife, and then you realize that didn't work out. Conspiracy theory. This is on me. This is on me. But yeah, man. I mean, Drake lost. I mean, he lost substantially. Yeah, bro. I really, and you know, my advice to him also would be like, bro, keep less people around you, cause the more people you keep around you, that's more armor. That's more shots that could be taken directly at you. Like, and then there's people you keep so many people around. Like, you can't trust everybody, right? You got to keep a core around you, like maybe 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying, friends, and then maybe some security. But it seems like he's got people around him that he shouldn't have around him. Or not even should have around him, but he just keeps people around him just to seem like, oh, like I'm this big. You know what I'm saying? Mike had that same kind of people around him, bro, and it drove him crazy. And also, too, I don't know if he can go back to Cali and Atlanta. Maybe Miami after this. He probably can. You know, he probably. I don't know if the Jay Prince call is gonna have to happen, but that Atlanta line. I forget about that. That Atlanta line talk with him about the weekend. He was like, they got to play his song where boys have a little more pride. He got to go and find Atlanta to get a tour guide. And it's like, bro, you dissing Atlanta now, like. And then Kendrick literally flipped on him, and he was like, well, you go to Atlanta when you need your checks, you know. And he literally flipped that on him. Like, cause I mean, we already talked about Atlanta, Houston. I think it was Atlanta, Houston, Memphis. I think those are like the 3 core ones. Yeah, those are like the 3 core ones: Atlanta, Houston, Memphis. Yeah, and then of course, you know, LA is like everybody's out there too. So this is, you know, Calabasas, all right, and all that stuff, right? Then he said, yeah, also it was Sierra Canyon parking lot looking like Magic City parking lot. That's a cringe line within it. Oh no, yuck. Drake, you gotta duck. You got. I'm sorry, bro. This is nuts. And if you got a kid out there, bro, this is also another conspiracy theory. He's got a kid out there, but he probably had an agreement that the mom or they give some hush money, and then she can't claim him as the father, or she can't claim him as the father. You know what I mean? Because they have those kind of they have those kind of agreements and contracts, and that's it. That's what it is. So oh my God, man, it's this beef. And let's go to Kendrick. So there's the whole, well, you beat your wife up, and he's like, they hired a crisis management, and it's like, let's go on conspiracy theories. Let's say, yeah, this is true. It's a pretty, you know what I'm saying? It's a pretty good way of them hiding it, also as well. Like, if that's the case, right? What else? The whole cheating thing. He was like, I come down. You know what I'm saying? Like, we already know that happened. What else? There's really, oh my God, there's really not as much cracks. Because Kendrick already laid his stuff out, and it's like, how you can't really take a shot at a man that takes shots at himself, like. And then the whole mother I'm sober angle too, with the molestation thing, when knowing that that was bad, because that wasn't even true. It was his mother. Like, that was a bad angle to take. That was a weird angle to take too. And I would allow it if it was true. I would allow the angle. And the crazy thing about it, I would even allow the angle, because this is beef. I would even allow it if it was true. But it was like, bro, it ain't even true. And it was like, yeah, you're cooked, bro. Cause this is a beef. This ain't a. And if one takes it there, wherever further it may go, then it is what it is. But those older people that's calling out, it's like, oh, bro, this shouldn't be about the beef, bro. Come on, dog. Y'all grew up around the same time Nas and Jay-Z was taking shots at each other, bro. Y'all grew up around the same time Tupac and Biggie. Now y'all know how that ended, but y'all grew up around all these other beefs around, like I say, Ja Rule and 50, like 50 and all these other dudes, bro. 50 Game, and then somebody else, I forget. Lloyd Banks and somebody else too. Bro, it was so many beefs that was going on around that time. Like I said, the whole D12 and Royce the 5'9" and Eminem and all them boys. Like, there was so many beefs that was going on then. But all of a sudden, this one is the one. But all just because it's the biggest. It's one of the biggest one now. And it's like, okay, whatever, bro. All right. We're seeing biases there. If you don't admit your biases, then if you admit them, then I'm cool. But if you don't admit them, bro, then it's like, all right, bro, whatever. But, yeah, bro, Kendrick won. Kendrick. And the crazy thing about it is, too, Kendrick won. It wasn't even close. But even after the fact, like, you can kind of even see, like, people are like, well, let's try to go back to our normal lives. Like, even when I play Sirius XM radio, like, they still try to play all the Drake stuff. Like, of course, Sound Radio, because that's Drake's. But, like, the other stations, like, they try to play all the Drake. They still push push-ups. They still push, what's the other one called? They still push Family Matters. Like, they still play those. They still try to play those more than ever. But they don't play not like us. They not like us that much. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's the #1 streaming song right now. Why would you not play what's hot? Are there's people in Drake's camp or OVO camp that's in your pocket? There's people in that state or in their pockets. Like, what are we talking about? Like, there are people in different companies that they're associated with. They're in your pockets, bro. And it's like, you can't even trust a radio station. I'll be honest with you, because we can't trust them. You can't trust them because they're like, well, Drake's hot song's hot, but it's like, well, Kendrick's got the hottest song right now, and you're not gonna play that as much on the radio. That's crazy. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. But yeah, guys, Kendrick won. We had the end of the day, Kendrick won. I know that people are like, that's like Drake. Drake tell him to respond. Well, I mean, what are you gonna respond to? What is there to respond? Ain't no response when you're playing defense. Like, there's really no response for that. And also, it's like one of the most. It's got like more dislikes than likes, which is crazy. I think it's darn near at 1 million dislikes, which is crazy. So and then also he was trying to claim that Drake was trying to claim that Kendrick was buying views and bots when Kendrick don't even stay on the internet. I guarantee you, Kendrick don't even stay on the internet long enough to not even know how to buy bots. And just the fact that it almost, and the crazy thing about it is, it's so psychological to the point where Kendrick was so smart, and he won a Pulitzer for a reason. Like, the shots that Drake takes at other people, you're wondering, has he done that before? You're starting to think, did you buy bots and clicks before? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost starting to be like that. Like, everything that he says, it almost goes directly back towards him. Like, what else did he say? You're buying bots and clicks. Well, show me the proof that I have a daughter. And it's like, wait a minute, bro. Do you have a daughter for real now? Or you just or is this something you ain't trying to tell us? Or are you just trying to bait us? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so many cracks there. It's so many cracks. And it's not even hard to deny. But anyways, Drake is, I will say this. He's still gonna make his money. He's still gonna do good. He's still gonna be the hit maker. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what he is. But did he come out of this with some cracks and stuff? You darn near right. There's some cracks in there. Like, it won't be the same, but he's still gonna be the hit. He's still gonna be the hit person. Now after this, Kendrick, whatever Kendrick does after this, it's totally up to him. right? I don't even think he has to. He don't even have to drop another diss track on Drake. He could drop an album right now that just would pop off like crazy. He Kendrick has the world at his hands right now. Kendrick has everybody on attention. Now this is going to shift. I will say this beef is going to shift the culture of where people are going to have to start being more direct with their rap instead of being subliminal. Because they're gonna be like, well, okay, well, you being Drake, like you just like, oh, everybody, like, you know how some people like, everybody want to take shots at me. It's like, well, okay, well, who? If it ain't who, then you lying. You know what I mean? Same thing with drama. It's like, oh, I don't think they like me. Well, who don't like you? First of all, because it's like, okay, you just making stuff up. But I think this is a shift. This is a big shift. Like, I think it's gonna force. Now, will it shift overnight? Probably not. But I think it's gonna force more people to rap. It's gonna force, because not everybody, not like after that, like hearing those bars, like you pay attention to every bar now, and it's like you're like a lot of music you're hearing is a lot of filler. It ain't Kanan. It's filler. It's not main character stuff. It's filler stuff. And it's like, you go back, even now you're starting to go back to the artists that you even listen to, and you're like, okay, this ain't even hitting like it should. Like, you go back to you just keep going back to Not Like Us, and you just like, okay, well, it's trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything's hitting. Even the Drake track, you're like, okay, everything's hitting. Like, it's kind of forcing, it's gonna have to force people to step the game up. It's gonna have to force people to step the game up, and that's all I came for. I'm here for the bars. I'm here for the hip hop, bro. So, I'm the culture. I'm part of the culture. Like, this is my life. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the post notification bell when I'm posting more videos. And yeah, man, this is it. This is a time to be alive. All right, y'all. Peace.